Happy Hump Day and welcome back to Talk with T. I am going to acknowledge that it has been over a week since I talked with you guys and since you have tuned in. I would like to start off by talking about some time and feelings management during the upcoming holiday seasons. I think that's important for us to address. There are several different ways and points to make sure that you are managing your time, managing your stress, and managing your feelings during these difficult times, especially with the pandemic. But I pointed out three specific things that I thought were most important, especially when we are talking about, things being so different these days, things having to change with our holiday season, things having to change with us getting together with our families and things like that. So we recently had Thanksgiving and we learned that things have changed and things need to change in order for everyone to stay safe and in order for everyone to feel safe and progress forward. So I think the first thing that we need to remember is to make sure that we are planning now and we are planning ahead. It's always busy during the holidays, so it is very important and helpful to plan ahead. We have a lot of demands. We're still working. People are trying to get it together as much as they can and as safe as possible for entertaining, for, as I said, meeting with family, shopping, baking, and cleaning. So make a list, plan ahead, prevent some last minute scrambling and purchasing, if at all possible. And this could also especially prevent you from overcommitting yourself and things like that. So some of the different ideas with planning, entertaining, and shopping, you're going to keep hearing me say this, but a lot of these things are being done virtually. If you can't create a meeting type or Zoom type environment, you can always try to see if you can link with FaceTime or other ways to actually be able to hear and see your family members. If you do meet, have a small setting. Make sure that everyone is continuing to stay safe, wash your hands. Usually people do not use the face mask type practice with family inside the home. However, you can spray things down. You can make sure things stay clean and still be safe. Another point is to make sure that you are learning to say no. Saying yes when you're supposed to or need to say no can leave you personally feeling resentful or overwhelmed, and we don't want to create any unnecessary problems, especially during these difficult times. Also, we want to make sure that we are engaging in healthy habits and self-care, as the holidays do sometimes and most of the times lead to overindulgence, which can add to some stress and guilt. So you want to, start practicing eating healthy, start setting some realistic expectations, maybe some exercise, getting plenty of sleep, plenty of air, and things like that. We want to make sure, as another point, that you are acknowledging your feelings. This is a difficult time outside of the pandemic for a lot of people. A lot of people around this time of year think about and have lost loved ones. And so you want to make sure that you're not isolating from your family and friends. It's normal to feel sadness and grief. However, make sure that you always have someone that is supportive and that you can talk to and be able to express your thoughts and feelings and take time again for yourself if you need to grieve or, process some thoughts and emotions. I also wanted to bring up the point that there is a realistic clinical term that we call SAD, and it stands for seasonal affective disorder. This is a education that I am providing and not therapy or counseling. However, you can follow up and research and read up on this. This is a actual disorder, and it is unrecognized for many people, and it accompanies the holiday season. A lot of it is centered on grief and loss, but it also is accompanied by how the daylight diminishes and some of the weather is cold and, it's snowy and things like that. And so a lot of people can enjoy this weather and they like to see it snow and things like that. However, others are and can be affected by seasonal affective disorder. So to keep yourself out of these, cloudy type feelings, make sure that you are also getting a healthy diet, getting some exercise, adequate sleep. Is always helpful in these type of situations. And it can minimize, it might not be able to eliminate, but it can minimize the effect of SAD or seasonal affective disorder. So I wanted to say that there are a lot of things that can be pinpointed, centered on these type of issues as the holidays approach, especially between now and Christmas and, with the global pandemic and, and other things. So we are going to be talking more about these kind of things on our next episode of Talk with T. It's going to be more specific to managing stress during the holidays and giving some tips and maybe going a little bit in depth into some clinical type stress, which can lead to, some depression and things like that. So I will have a special guest to kind of indulge into that a little bit more. However, I wanted to really get back with you guys. I wanted to make sure that we are talking about some significant topics that may be very important to express to people around this time, especially this time of year. Again, especially with these pandemic type issues and, things like that. So I will be talking to you guys soon. And as always, thank you so much for listening. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. If you feel comfortable, please make sure that you leave some comments and feedback on this subject matter. And please stay tuned because, as mentioned before, coming up soon, we have some additional topics and tips to talk about centered on managing stress around the holiday. Take care and tune in to Talk with T again soon. Good night.